The journey begins, Earth's hidden motion through the galaxy. He stands before the audience not as a storyteller, but as an observer of the universe, guiding them into a truth that most people never notice, never question, and never fully understand. The calm, deep narration begins, drifting gently over a dark screen filled with silence. And then a tiny blue light appears. It is Earth, floating alone in the vast black ocean. But the narrator does not describe it the way people expect. He does not talk about continents or oceans or life. Instead, he says something that instantly pulls the viewer's attention. Earth is moving and it never stops. The camera slowly rotates around the glowing blue sphere as if it's suspended in nothingness. The world looks peaceful, still, almost frozen in time. But the narrator adds a quiet tension. Every moment of your life, while you sleep, while you breathe, while you simply stand still, this planet is racing through space at impossible speeds. Thunder-like sound design rumbles under the visuals. A faint swirl of stars begins behind Earth. The planet's blue atmosphere glows brighter as cinematic music builds with slow, growing intensity. He continues, humans never feel it, they never sense it. But the truth is, Earth is not standing still. It is part of a giant cosmic dance, a hidden journey far more complex than anyone imagines. The screen zooms out and Earth becomes small, almost like a marble. The moon appears locked in its orbit. The narrator speaks softly with a tone of awe. To understand the real movement of Earth, one must begin with the motion people think they know but actually do not. A bright golden glow enters the frame, the sun. Solar flares burst outward. The music swells like a rising wave. Most people imagine Earth orbiting the sun in a perfect circle, slowly drifting through an empty, silent space. But this picture is only a simple drawing, a child's idea of the universe. The reality is far more dynamic, far more dramatic, and far more mysterious. Earth begins rotating quickly. Lines of light trace its spin, forming a glowing blue halo. Every 24 hours, Earth spins once on its axis. At the equator, this rotation reaches speeds of more than 1,600 kilometers per hour, faster than a jet airplane, faster than a bullet. The globe blurs as it spins faster. A wind-like sound rushes past the audience's ears. Yet humans feel none of it. They stand on the ground believing they are still, but stillness is an illusion. Stability is a comfort story. The spinning slows and the visuals shift perspective. Now Earth is seen from the side, moving forward along a curved path. A glowing white trail forms behind it. At the same time, Earth is also moving around the sun, not slowly but at more than 100,000 kilometers per hour. The trail behind Earth becomes longer, brighter. The sun grows larger and more radiant. Imagine traveling fast enough to cross an entire continent in a single minute. Earth does this effortlessly every second of every day. The narrator pauses. The music softens. He adds, but even this is only the beginning. The camera zooms out further, revealing the entire solar system. Massive planets move gently around the sun. Jupiter glows like a striped giant. Saturn's rings sparkle. The orbits appear smooth, balanced, predictable. Then the narrator breaks that comfort. These neat circular orbits you see in books, they are lies made for convenience. In truth, nothing in space moves in perfect circles. Everything is tilted, stretched, twisted by gravity's invisible pull. The orbits begin to warp into more natural elliptical shapes, but this still does not show the real movement of Earth. The viewer is now curious. Suspense grows like a quiet whisper. The narrator's voice drops lower. What if Earth's orbit is not a loop, but a spiral? What if Earth is not circling the sun at all, but chasing it? A dramatic beat hits. The entire frame shifts. The sun suddenly begins to move forward, plowing through space like a burning ship cutting across a dark ocean. Earth follows behind. Then all the planets follow. The entire solar system transforms into a cosmic helix stretching endlessly ahead. The sun is not resting in space. It is racing through the Milky Way at more than 220 kilometers per second. As it moves, Earth does not simply orbit around it. Earth spirals behind it. A trail of glowing corkscrew patterns appears, beautiful and hypnotic. This is the true path of our world, a spiraling journey through the galaxy, a constant forward motion, a motion we never feel, never see, but always exist within. The music turns mysterious. The spiral trail glows brighter like a neon river flowing through darkness. The narrator explains, Earth is not orbiting in a closed circle. It is being pulled forward by the sun, twisting through space in a complex, beautiful motion no human has ever witnessed with their own eyes. The camera rotates around the spiral, revealing its three-dimensional shape, deep, endless, magnificent. If someone could draw Earth's trail for millions of years, it would look like a glowing thread woven through a giant cosmic tapestry. The visuals show a time lapse, Earth racing behind the sun, leaving a long ribbon of light stretching across the galaxy. But just when the audience begins to understand, the narrator introduces something new, something bigger, something unsettling. Yet even this spiraling journey does not show the ultimate truth. The visuals freeze, the spiral fades into darkness, because the Milky Way itself is not still. Our galaxy is also moving. A massive view of the Milky Way appears, billions of stars rotating in a beautiful glowing disk. Dust lanes swirl like cosmic storms. Nebulae shimmer like colored clouds. But then the galaxy tilts forward and begins drifting through space. The entire Milky Way is traveling through the universe, pulled by enormous gravitational forces, and Earth is moving with it. Layers of motion are now stacking in the viewer's mind. Rotation, orbit, spiral, galactic drift. The narrator frames the mystery. So where exactly are we going? What destination is Earth heading toward at such unimaginable speeds? A chilling silence fills the audio. The only sound is a deep, distant rumble. No one knows. The camera zooms into Earth, now tiny inside the giant galaxy. Earth is part of a journey that has no path, no road, no map. A voyage through space that began billions of years before humans walked the planet and will continue long after humanity is gone. The tone becomes more dramatic, more cinematic. Every moment of human history, every empire, every war, every discovery has happened on a world that was racing like a bullet through the universe. The visuals show Earth's history like glimpses. Early oceans, ancient forests, dinosaurs, early humans, modern cities, all drifting behind a moving cosmic trail. Human beings think they live on solid ground, but the truth is, they are passengers on a ship that never stops moving. A massive cosmic zoom-out begins. First, the solar system disappears. Then the Milky Way becomes small. Then galaxy clusters appear like islands in a cosmic sea. Earth is part of a flow of galaxies, a river of stars known as the cosmic web. Filaments of glowing matter stretch across the screen like the nervous system of the universe. And through this web, Earth is carried forward, silently, constantly, endlessly. A soft, emotional music layer joins. The narrator brings the audience into a deep, philosophical moment. Humans often ask, why can't we feel this motion? The answer is simple. Motion becomes invisible when it is constant. Just like a passenger on a smooth train, humans do not feel speed, only changes in speed. The visuals show a person sitting inside a moving train, unaware of the landscape passing rapidly outside. Earth moves so smoothly, so perfectly balanced in cosmic forces, that life feels still. But the stillness is only a perception, a trick of nature. Then the narrator returns to the mystery that began the episode. Now imagine this, if Earth is spinning, orbiting, spiraling, and drifting all at once, what is our true speed through the universe? A sequence of numbers appears, each one larger than the previous. Hundreds of kilometers per hour, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. Earth is moving through the universe at a combined speed beyond human understanding, a speed so great that even words and numbers struggle to describe it. The screen fills with swirling lines, each representing one layer of motion. This is the hidden journey of Earth. The narrator sets the hook for the next part, but to understand our real movement, we must break each motion apart. We must follow Earth step by step, starting from the familiar and moving into the unknown. The camera settles on Earth again, calm, blue, silent. This is not just the story of a planet, it is the story of a cosmic traveler. The music rises, and this is where the journey truly begins. Fade to black Earth's rotation and orbit. The first layer of motion, the screen fades in from darkness. Earth appears again, glowing softly against the black canvas of space. But this time, the perspective is closer, intimate, almost as if the audience is floating just above the atmosphere. The narrator's calm voice returns, guiding the viewer deeper into the hidden mechanics of Earth's motion. Before we travel further into the galaxy, we must understand the first steps of Earth's journey, the motions that shape every moment of life on this planet. A gentle rotation begins, clouds drift, oceans shimmer under sunlight. Earth's first motion is its rotation, the spin that creates day and night. The camera moves across Earth's horizon as sunlight creeps over the curve. Cities shift from darkness into golden morning light. Millions of lives awaken while the narrator describes the unseen force behind it all. Earth spins once every 24 hours, but this simple idea hides a deeper truth. At the equator, Earth is moving faster than sound, more than 1,600 kilometers per hour. Every second, the ground beneath your feet is racing forward. A sweeping sound effect emphasizes the movement. Lines of light trace the equator, glowing brightly as Earth rotates smoothly. But then the narrator adds, yet humans feel nothing. The speed is too constant, the motion too perfect. Life evolved inside this movement, wrapped inside it, protected from ever sensing it. A visualization shows a child playing in a park, unaware that the spinning Earth beneath him is moving as fast as a fighter jet. But Earth's rotation is not only about speed, it shapes everything, whether oceans, climate patterns, even the direction of storms. A storm system spins in the northern hemisphere and the narrator points out the Coriolis effect in simple terms. Earth's rotation twists winds and currents. It controls how hurricanes spin, how ocean waters flow, and how heat moves around the planet. The narration now takes a more dramatic turn. But rotation is only the first motion. The second is far larger, far faster, and far more important to Earth's survival. The camera zooms out until the entirety of Earth fits comfortably within the frame again. Earth orbits the sun, but not slowly, not gently. A glowing trail appears behind Earth as it begins its path around the sun. Earth travels through space at more than 100,000 kilometers per hour. In the time it takes you to blink, Earth has moved dozens of kilometers through the void. The narrator pauses just long enough to let the viewer imagine it. Every year, Earth completes a journey of almost 1 billion kilometers, a path that keeps life alive. The orbit begins to tilt in the visual, showing that Earth's path is not a perfect circle. Most people imagine Earth orbiting the sun in a smooth circular loop, but this is only a convenient drawing, a simple picture used for teaching. The visuals shift, showing Earth's orbit becoming more elliptical and realistic. In truth, Earth's orbit is stretched, tilted, and constantly changing. Gravity from other planets pulls on Earth, shaping its path. Even the moon slightly adjusts Earth's orbit. With each explanation, the visuals adjust, showing subtle gravitational warps. The narrator continues. Earth does not follow the same exact orbit every year. Its shape changes in cycles lasting thousands of years. These cycles influence climate patterns, ice ages, and even long-term environmental changes. The Milankovitch cycles appear as animated diagrams, simple, clear, easy to understand. Now the camera draws closer to the sun. Earth moves gracefully along its glowing elliptical path. But the sun itself is not in the center of this orbit. Earth moves faster when it is closer to the sun, and slower when it is farther away. A speed gauge visual illustrates how Earth accelerates near perihelion and slows near aphelion. This constant change in speed is part of Earth's natural rhythm, a cosmic heartbeat created by gravity. Soft, rhythmic music plays like a slow pulse. Earth stays in orbit because it is always falling toward the sun, but it is also moving fast enough to miss the sun every moment. This balance between falling and moving forward creates the orbit we depend on. The narrator explains it simply visually and beautifully. A feather floats in space. The sun pulls it. A sideways push causes it to fall and miss, again and again, until the feather traces a small orbit. The visual is poetic and educational. Earth's forward motion is so perfect that it has lasted for more than 4 billion years, a balance delicate enough to sustain oceans, skies, and all living things. Then the narrator adds a new layer of mystery, but this is still not the real movement of Earth. These two motions, rotation and orbit, only create the illusion of circles, but in reality Earth never returns to the same place. This line catches the viewer's attention. Music shifts into a more suspenseful tone. The frame expands. The sun becomes larger, its surface boiling with flame-like waves. Solar flares erupt into space. To understand why Earth never returns to the same point in space, we must follow the sun, because the sun itself is not still. The sun begins drifting forward, pulling Earth with it. Earth's orbit is not a loop, it is a spiral being dragged through the galaxy. The narrator speaks slowly for impact. Earth never comes back to where it started. Not after 1 year, not after 100 years, not even after 1,000,000 years. Glowing spiral forms behind Earth, a luminous twisting trail that never overlaps. Every birthday you have had in your life happened in a completely new place in the universe. The narrator lets this idea sit for a moment. If someone placed a marker in space at the spot where you were born, Earth would never cross that point again. The visual now shows thousands of glowing points, each one representing where Earth was during some moment in human history. They form a long, beautiful, endless spiral. Now the narrator describes Earth's tilt, a crucial feature of its motion. Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees. This tilt is what gives us seasons. Earth rotates as sunlight strikes differently across the year, winter, spring, summer, autumn. Without this tilt, there would be no seasons, no changing weather, no cycles of life as we know them. The narrator explains how the tilt remains stable thanks to the moon. Earth should wobble like a spinning top, but it does not. The moon stabilizes Earth's axis, preventing chaotic shifts in climate. A delicate animation shows how Earth's wobble is reduced by the moon's gravitational pull. This small, quiet moon helps keep Earth habitable. Now the narrator shifts back to the major theme. Rotation, orbit, tilt. These three motions create the world humans know, but they also hide the deeper reality. Tension rises. Earth is moving much faster than people think, much farther than they can imagine. A visualization begins measuring Earth's motion through time. 1 second passes, Earth moves 30 kilometers. 1 minute, 1,800 kilometers. 1 hour, 107,000 kilometers. 1 day, more than 2.5 million kilometers. 1 year, nearly 1 billion kilometers. The numbers flash dramatically, layered over Earth's glowing orbital trail. Earth is traveling through space without stopping, without slowing, without ever repeating a single path. A small question rises in the narrator's tone, but why does this matter? Then he answers it himself. Because the universe is not simple, nothing stays still, every motion affects another. Earth's rotation affects wind, Earth's orbit affects seasons, the sun's motion affects Earth's true path. The screen slowly shifts to a wider view of the solar system. And soon, we will leave these familiar motions behind. Suspense builds, because Earth is not just orbiting the sun. Earth is being carried by the sun, dragged at enormous speed through the spiral arms of the Milky Way. The narrator prepares the viewer for what's coming next. This next layer of motion will change everything you think you know about Earth's place in the universe. Soft, deep music begins rising like a tide. It is time to leave the comfort of Earth's orbit and follow the sun into the galaxy. The sun's galactic journey, Earth's spiral through the Milky Way, the screen slowly brightens from darkness. A faint golden glow appears, shimmering like the first light of dawn. As the camera pushes forward, the source of the glow becomes clear. The sun, massive, blazing, alive. Rivers of plasma twist across its surface like fiery serpents. Explosions of light burst outward, sending ripples of energy spiraling into the void. The narrator begins, his voice deep and steady. To understand Earth's real movement, we must now follow the force that guides it, the sun. The camera glides past the sun's surface, showing flares erupting like colossal storms. It feels almost close enough to touch, yet infinitely dangerous. For most people, the sun is just the center of our solar system, a bright light in the sky, warm presence that rises and sets each day. The view expands. Earth appears in the distance, small and delicate, orbiting in its gentle blue arc. But the sun is far more than a stationary lighthouse. It is a traveler moving through the Milky Way at incredible speeds. The music shifts to a mysterious deep pulse. The sun begins drifting forward, slowly at first, then accelerating. Trails of light stretch behind it. At more than 220 kilometers per second, the sun cuts through the galaxy like a glowing ship sailing across a cosmic sea. The narrator speaks softly, allowing the viewer to absorb the scale of the moment. The sun is not waiting for Earth to orbit it. The sun is dragging Earth behind it, pulling the entire solar system forward through the spiral arms of the Milky Way. The solar system appears in full now, planets orbiting, yet being pulled forward at the same time. Their orbits begin to stretch into long, spiraling threads. This creates a motion far more beautiful and far more complex than a simple circle. A stunning 3D animation shows Earth spiraling behind the sun, each turn forming a glowing helix twisting endlessly forward. Earth's true path looks like a cosmic spring, an endless spiral that never repeats a single loop. The narrator pauses, letting the audience take in the hypnotic pattern. Everything you have ever known, every person, every animal, every ocean, every mountain, exists on a world that is following this invisible trail through space. The camera zooms in on Earth. People walk through cities. Waves crash on shores, forests sway in the wind. All the while, Earth continues its silent cosmic flight. Humans believe they are standing still, but they are moving along a path that stretches across thousands of light years. Cinematic music begins to rise, slow, powerful, almost prophetic. The narrator continues, the sun does not travel alone. Our entire solar system moves with it. Planets orbit while drifting forward. Moons orbit planets while drifting forward. Asteroids, comets, and frozen debris all follow the sun, like sparks trailing behind a torch. A long glowing trail appears behind the solar system, millions of years of motion captured in a single breathtaking visualization. This journey takes our solar system through several regions of the galaxy. A map of the Milky Way slowly fades in. Glowing arms swirl outward like petals of a giant luminous flower. The Milky Way is a spiral galaxy with 4 major arms, and the sun is currently moving through a small region called the Orion Arm. The narrator zooms into a bright cluster of stars. This is our neighborhood in the galaxy. A small, calm region, but not permanent. The camera begins drifting outward, showing billions of stars glowing in soft waves. Over tens of millions of years, the sun moves through different regions of the Milky Way, sometimes through thick clusters of stars, sometimes through empty, silent space. Each region appears visually, dense star fields, nebula clouds, and dark cosmic voids. As the sun travels, so does Earth, and this changes the environment around our planet in ways humans rarely consider. The narrator's tone deepens, cosmic radiation varies, interstellar dust increases or decreases, passing stars subtly tug on the solar system. A bright star passes close in the visual, pulling the Oort cloud like a stretching net. These changes can influence comets, long-term climate patterns, and even the history of life on Earth. Now the narrator comes back to the sun's enormous speed. At 220 kilometers per second, the sun completes one orbit around the Milky Way every 225 to 250 million years. A dramatic phrase follows. This is called a galactic year. The screen flashes with beautiful cosmic timelines. Earth has existed for only about 20 galactic years. Dinosaurs lived just 1 galactic year ago. Humans appeared less than 0.0001 of a galactic year ago. This makes the audience understand Earth's tiny place in cosmic history. Every great extinction, every rise and fall of species, every shift in Earth's climate, all happened while the solar system was moving through different parts of the galaxy. A series of animations show prehistoric Earth glowing at different positions along the sun's galactic trail. But humans never feel this motion. They live inside gravity's cradle, a force strong enough to mask the sun's incredible speed. The narrator uses simple language, but the idea feels enormous. The visuals now show Earth's orbit spiraling behind the sun from multiple angles, wide shots, close shots, cross-sections, all revealing the complexity of the motion. Think of a child running while spinning a toy around on a string. The toy forms a looping spiral behind the running child. Earth is the toy. The sun is the runner. The comparison is simple, powerful, and memorable. The narrator now introduces a deeper layer. The sun's path is not a straight line. It oscillates, moving slightly up and down as it travels. A gentle wave-like motion appears, showing the solar system bobbing above and below the galactic plane. This vertical motion may influence how often Earth encounters cosmic dust, asteroids, or even interstellar clouds. The visuals show Earth passing through faint, glowing clouds of dust. Some scientists believe these motions could be linked to cycles of mass extinctions or climate shifts in Earth's past. A subtle dramatic note plays, hinting at ancient mysteries still unsolved. But the narrator brings the tone back to wonder. Yet despite all these motions, Earth continues its journey perfectly, balanced between gravity and motion. The screen shows Earth gliding gracefully behind the sun. Our planet is like a dancer following a partner through a vast and endless cosmic ballroom. Soft orchestral tones rise, gentle and beautiful, and the galaxy around us is alive. Nebula clouds appear glowing pink and blue, stars explode in supernovas, new stars are born in shimmering gas clouds. As the sun travels, it moves past regions of life and death, star nurseries, stellar graveyards, dark voids filled with nothing at all. Each one appears on screen, captivating, mysterious. The narrator now returns to the main idea. Earth does not orbit the sun in isolation. Earth rides on a moving platform, a star that is racing through the galaxy. The camera locks onto the solar system again, showing its spiraling forward motion with breathtaking clarity. This changes everything about how we understand Earth's true path. A line appears tracing Earth's movement over millions of years. It curves not in a loop, but in an endless spiral, never crossing itself, never repeating. Earth is not traveling in circles. Earth is traveling forward, always forward, following the sun on a journey that began long before humans existed. The narrator breathes a sense of humility into the message. Every ancient civilization, every discovery, every human dream has taken place on a world hurtling through the galaxy at unimaginable speed. Glowing lines appear behind Earth, marking its path during key human events: agriculture, pyramids, empires, revolutions, modern science. Human history is a tiny ripple on a massive cosmic river. The music quiets into a soft hum, but the sun's journey does not end here. The narrator's tone slowly shifts, hinting at something larger, something even more unimaginable. Because the Milky Way itself is moving. A slow zoom-out begins. The solar system becomes tiny, then invisible. The galaxy fills the screen, a brilliant whirlpool of stars. Earth is not just following the sun. Earth is also being carried by the entire Milky Way. The galaxy begins drifting through the universe. This next motion is massive, mysterious, and far more powerful than anything we have explored so far. The narrator prepares the audience for the next chapter. In the next part of our journey, we will leave the Milky Way's spiral arms and explore the forces that pull our entire galaxy across the universe. The music rises into a deep, awe-inspiring swell. This is Earth's third motion, and it is the one that reveals the true scale of our cosmic journey. The Milky Way's drift, Earth's journey through the universe darkness fills the screen. A slow hum rises, deep and distant, like the echo of something ancient moving far away. Then, a single thin beam of light appears, growing wider, brighter, until the entire Milky Way comes into view. A breathtaking spiral galaxy hangs in the void, glowing with billions of stars, alive, immense, and silently turning. The narrator begins in a calm, steady voice. Earth follows the sun. The sun follows the Milky Way. And the Milky Way follows something far greater. Camera glides above the galaxy like a silent observer. Dust lanes swirl like smoke frozen in time. Stellar clusters sparkle like diamonds scattered in water. Most people imagine the Milky Way as a still island in space, a giant wheel slowly spinning in an empty universe. The galaxy appears motionless, peaceful, but then the narrator's tone shifts. But the truth is this: the Milky Way is moving at unimaginable speed. A faint ripple spreads across the galaxy. The spiral arms begin drifting forward, cutting through the darkness like a glowing cosmic ship. Just like Earth is pulled by the sun, and the sun is pulled by the Milky Way itself is being pulled by massive structures around it. The galaxy begins accelerating. Stars blur into faint streaks. A deep bass note vibrates under the visuals. At more than 2 million kilometers per hour, our entire galaxy is racing through the universe. Audience feels the scale immediately. Earth, the solar system, all of human history, reduced to a tiny speck being carried inside this colossal drifting disk. To understand the real journey of Earth, we must follow the Milky Way as it travels through the cosmic landscape. The camera zooms out. Other galaxies now come into view, each one a glowing island of stars. Some are round, some stretched, some irregular, twisted from ancient collisions. The universe is not empty. It is filled with clusters of galaxies, superclusters, and cosmic filaments stretching across billions of light years. The screen reveals a vast network of glowing threads. This is the cosmic web, the large-scale structure of the universe. And inside this web, the Milky Way is drifting like a leaf carried by wind. The galaxy moves along one of the glowing filaments. But what is pushing us? What is pulling us? What force commands the movement of entire galaxies? The music builds with slow intensity. The narrator continues. The Milky Way is part of a small collection of galaxies known as the local group. A zoom-in highlights a few major galaxies: the Andromeda Galaxy, the Triangulum Galaxy, dozens of smaller satellite galaxies together. They move as a family. The largest member of this family is Andromeda, a beautiful spiral galaxy more than twice the size of our Milky Way. Andromeda appears on the screen, massive, bright, majestic, but the narrator adds something unexpected. Andromeda is moving toward us. A tense silence follows. The camera shows Andromeda drifting closer, slowly but undeniably. Not away, not sideways, but directly toward the Milky Way at 400,000 kilometers per hour. A dramatic chord hits. In 4 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will collide. Two galaxies slowly merge in a breathtaking simulation, their stars swirling together, forming tidal streams and giant glowing arcs. Earth, the sun, and every star in our galaxy will be pulled into this gravitational dance. The narrator stresses the scale. This collision will not destroy the solar system. Space is too vast for most stars to hit one another, but our sky will change forever. A visual shows Earth's night sky billions of years in the future, filled with Andromeda stretching across like a glowing bridge. But Andromeda is not the only force pulling us. The camera zooms out again. The local group appears as a small cluster within a much larger structure. The local group is falling toward an enormous region of space known as the Virgo cluster. The Virgo cluster flashes onto the screen, a massive ball of galaxies tightly packed together. This cluster contains more than 1,000 galaxies. Its gravity pulls on our Milky Way from millions of light years away. Lines appear showing the direction of motion, arrows pointing toward Virgo. But even this is not the final destination. The music becomes darker, deeper. There is a mysterious region in the universe known as the Great Attractor. The visuals shift to a dense, glowing region hidden behind dark clouds and dust. The Great Attractor is a gravitational anomaly, a powerful concentration of mass pulling entire galaxies toward it. Arrows show the movement of several galaxy clusters, all drawn toward the same invisible point. The Milky Way, Andromeda, the Virgo cluster, everything around us, is falling toward this hidden region at more than 600 kilometers per second. The narrator emphasizes the mystery. Scientists still do not fully understand what lies inside the Great Attractor. It is partly hidden behind our own galaxy, making it difficult to observe. The region is shown covered by dark patches. But the evidence is clear. We are being pulled by something massive, something powerful, something we cannot see directly. The music quiets, leaving only a soft, eerie hum. Beyond the Great Attractor lies an even larger structure, the Shapley supercluster. The screen reveals a glowing collection of galaxies even larger and denser than Virgo. This supercluster is one of the most massive in the nearby universe, and it too is pulling on us. Multiple gravitational vectors appear, forming a complex map of motions. Earth is being moved not by one force, not by one mass, but by the combined gravity of countless galaxies. A beautiful slow-motion animation shows the cosmic flow of galaxies, all drifting along the gravitational currents of the universe. This movement is called cosmic flow. Entire galaxy clusters drift through space like ships caught in deep ocean currents. The narrator continues. Earth, the solar system, the Milky Way, all are part of this flow. We are falling through the universe along invisible rivers of gravity. The visuals now show the cosmic web from above, huge filaments stretching in all directions. These filaments shape everything we see. They guide the movement of galaxies across billions of light years. The narrator softens his tone. For humans, Earth feels stable, solid, secure. But in the grand cosmic ocean, Earth is riding waves far larger than anything on its surface. The film now offers a philosophical moment. Human beings draw maps of their cities, their countries, their world. But very few imagine the map of Earth's real journey, the path it takes through the universe itself. A glowing line traces Earth's motion through expanding layers. The solar system, the Milky Way, the local group toward Virgo, toward the Great Attractor, toward Shapley, each line grows brighter, more complex. This is the true journey of Earth, a journey across space and across time. The narrator pauses, and humans are passengers traveling without knowing it. A slow visual zooms into Earth, small, peaceful, glowing blue in the dark. Every sunrise, every night sky, every breath you take happens on a world that is falling through the universe at over 2 million kilometers per hour. The narrator's voice becomes gentle. This is not a frightening truth. It is a beautiful one. Scenes of life on Earth fill the screen, children playing, waves rolling ashore, stars shimmering above quiet mountains. Life exists not despite this motion, but because of it. Now the narrator hints at the next mystery, but the Milky Way's journey is not the final layer of Earth's motion. Suspense returns. There is one more motion, one last step in the cosmic journey. The music rises softly, building anticipation, a motion that does not come from gravity but from the universe itself. The screen begins to stretch outward as if space is expanding. In the final part of our story, we will uncover the biggest force of all, the expansion of the universe. The final motion, Earth and the expanding universe. The screen opens with complete silence. No stars, no galaxies, no shimmering lights. Only a deep black emptiness stretching in every direction. Narrator speaks softly. Everything we have seen so far, Earth's rotation, Earth's orbit, the sun's motion through the galaxy, and the Milky Way's drift across the cosmic web, these are all motions caused by gravity. A faint glow appears at the center. But the universe has one more motion, a motion far greater than gravity, a motion that defines the fate of everything. The glow grows, expanding slowly like a flower opening in the dark. This is the expansion of the universe. Suddenly, stars explode into view. Galaxies stretch outward. The screen fills with thousands of glowing spirals drifting apart from one another. Earth is not only moving because of the sun, not only moving because of the Milky Way. Earth is also being carried by the expansion of space itself. A ripple spreads across the universe, pushing galaxies farther apart. To understand this final motion, we must go back to the origin of everything. A deep rumble echoes. The screen flashes. A bright, blinding explosion of light fills the frame. The Big Bang. The narrator continues. 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began in a moment of unimaginable energy. Not an explosion in space, but an explosion of space. Space expands like a glowing balloon, stretching galaxies away from each other. Since that moment, the universe has been growing, expanding, stretching farther and farther, like fabric being pulled at every corner. Galaxies drift away from one another in every direction. Earth rides inside this expansion, not by choice, not by force, but simply because everything does. The narrator pauses, then introduces a key idea. The Milky Way is not drifting through the universe alone. The universe itself is growing beneath it, carrying it outward like a leaf floating on a rising tide. The music becomes deep and emotional. This is the most silent motion of all. Humans cannot feel it, they cannot see it. Even scientists struggle to measure it. Two galaxies appear close together. The distance between them grows and grows and grows. Every second, the space between galaxies increases, not because the galaxies are flying apart, but because the universe itself is stretching. The narrator's tone becomes more thoughtful. Imagine dots on a balloon. As the balloon inflates, the dots move away from each other, not because the dots are moving, but because the balloon expands. A simple visual demonstrates the concept clearly. Earth is one of those dots. Now the camera zooms into the Milky Way again. Even though gravity holds galaxies together, the expansion of the universe pulls them apart from distant galaxies. The local group remains tightly bound, but distant galaxies begin drifting away. Everything beyond our local region moves away from us faster and faster. A dramatic moment follows. Some galaxies are moving away from the Milky Way faster than the speed of light. A quiet pause allows the viewer to absorb that brilliant, surprising fact. This does not break the laws of physics because nothing is traveling through space faster than light. Space itself is expanding. The narrator explains it clearly and simply. A cosmic map appears, showing Earth's deepest motion, its place in the expanding universe. This expansion creates the final motion of Earth, a motion not caused by spinning or orbiting or drifting, a motion caused by the growth of the universe itself. The visuals shift to an enormous scale. The entire cosmic web fills the screen, huge filaments and voids stretching across unimaginable distances. The universe does not stand still. Every moment, the great cosmic web grows larger. The narrator adds a layer of mystery. Scientists still do not fully understand why the universe is expanding or what drives this expansion. Dark glowing patches appear, but they have discovered something even stranger. A soft, eerie sound emerges. The expansion of the universe is speeding up. Galaxies drift farther and farther, accelerating as they move. This acceleration is caused by a mysterious force known as dark energy. The screen fills with dark, swirling waves, and invisible pressure pushing galaxies apart. Dark energy makes up nearly 70% of the universe. It surrounds everything. It fills every corner of space. The narrator speaks slowly. It is the most powerful force in the cosmos, and yet we have no idea what it is. Cinematic music swells with mystery and awe. Earth moves because dark energy stretches the universe. Earth drifts because space beneath it grows. Earth travels through a cosmic ocean that is getting bigger with every passing second. Now the narrator brings everything together. Earth rotates. Earth orbits. Earth spirals. Earth drifts. But all of these motions exist inside the expanding universe. A glowing diagram appears, layering each motion on top of the next. Rotation, orbit, spiral, motion behind the sun, galactic drift, cosmic expansion. Each layer builds on the last, forming a single, beautiful web of motion. These motions do not fight each other. They are part of one grand cosmic journey. The narrator's voice becomes warm, reflective. Every human being who has ever lived has ridden these motions. Scenes of life appear on Earth. A child playing in the grass, a fisherman on the ocean, a scientist looking through a telescope, families celebrating, people watching the stars, all of them moving silently through the universe. Humans walk through their lives believing they are still, but they are traveling across billions of kilometers per year, riding on a planet that races through a galaxy that races through expanding space. The music becomes uplifting. Earth is a traveler, a cosmic passenger, a tiny world caught in the beautiful, unstoppable motion of the universe. The camera begins zooming out. Earth becomes smaller. The solar system fades into the background. The Milky Way becomes a tiny dot. Clusters appear like islands in a vast ocean. The universe expands, and Earth moves with it, silently, constantly, forever. A final philosophical question is spoken. If everything in the universe is moving, can anything ever truly be still? A thoughtful pause follows. Perhaps stillness is only an illusion created by small minds standing on a small world. The music softens, and movement is the true nature of the cosmos. The camera zooms out one final time until the entire visible universe fills the frame like a glowing bubble surrounded by darkness. The narrator delivers the closing lines. Earth's real movement is not just a story of speed and distance. It is a story of connection, of gravity, of expansion, of a universe that is alive. Soft, emotional music plays as the final message appears. We are not standing still. We are part of a great cosmic journey, a journey that will never end. Fade to black.